I want to lick her stretch marks. Okay, but to the main topic. So I found this thread on 4chan. I got rid of the images here because some of them were explicit. But this thread was asking guys what gives you the ick when it comes to women. So we're going to be looking into this thread. But first, I'm going to give you guys my top 10 icks. But I'm going to give you guys my top 10 icks. So number one, past relationships. You know, hearing anything about a girl's previous relationships, that definitely gives me or even just seeing a girl with like their boyfriend or something like that. Like if I like if I let's say I meet a girl, right? And she has a boyfriend when I meet her. If I see her with that boyfriend, like that's gonna give me the ick. Like, cause I'm always see you as being like his fuck toy. Now I know any girl that I deal with or date ever has probably been fucked by multiple men and whatnot, right? I get it. But it's so much different when you see it, when you hear about it, when you know it. So yeah, just even hearing anything about a woman's past relationships, it gives me the ick because it reminds me that she's been used by other men. So number two, and this is not in any particular order, but the last one is my biggest ick. But the rest of them are just not in any real order. Number two, BBLs. BBLs. I don't see them very often, but being someone who goes to the gym, I have seen quite a few girls who have BBLs in there. In fact, there was an older woman who had a BBL that I worked with at my last job, the part-time cleaning job that I had a few years back. And she had a BBL. But yeah, BBLs give me the ick. Not a deal breaker per se, but it does give me the ick because they look so like obviously fake to me. Like BBLs don't look good to me most of the time. Like it's because when you have a naturally fat ass, the curvature of it has like this you know, this even flow. It's like it's like a perfect flow, right? From the top of the crown of the buttocks to the side, going into the thighs. Like it's a seamless blend, right? But a BBL is like, bop, bop, bop. Right? It's like, bop, bop. Right? And it to me, it doesn't look good. Now, would I date a girl who had a BBL? Sure. I have fun with that fake butt. But it is something that gives me a bit of an ick, you know, that, and then on top of that, like just the fact that they would get such a invasive procedure like that is like, damn, like you were that insecure, but the golden ratio, yeah. You know, it's, you know it when you see it. I know a fake ass and a real ass when I see it. And a real one just got like, it's a seamless blend. Like really the key to look out for is where the ass is turning into the thighs, where the ass meets the thighs. Cause a natural fat ass it's a seamless, it seamlessly blends from the ass to the thighs. Like it just goes right into from ass to thigh. Right? But with the BBL, it's like it's not like that. It's just like big ass and then the thighs get small out of nowhere. Right? Or significantly smaller. And that's not how a naturally big ass is going to be shaped 9 times out of 10. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of the BBLs. Number 3, bad attitudes. I cannot stand a girl with a bad attitude. And I remember somebody left a comment on one of my videos. You know, I was telling you guys about that story about the older woman at my job who I felt like was trying to get me to bang her. Using the typical array of female choosing signals, eye contact, breaking the touch barrier, shit like that. And I wasn't going for it. And the guy was like, you're going to regret not going for that. And I'm like, bruh, like, number one, we got to do better than 49-year-old single moms. But other than that, one of the main reasons why I don't like her is that she has a bad attitude. The way she talks about the job, the things that she complains about. We're not around each other a lot, but there was a guy who like worked very closely with her, and he would complain to me about her and her attitude and how she was just always complaining about shit, complaining about the job, complaining about somebody, complaining about the floor, complaining about the wall, stupid shit like that. And I don't like that. Really, people in general with a bad attitude, I don't dig it. But a girl especially, I don't like a girl who got like a legitimately bad attitude. Nisha's calling him moaning Myrtle. Yeah, complaining Cheryl. No, I'm not a fan of it. Just I can't go for that. Now I've met girls who kind of had like a tongue-in-cheek pessimism about them. That, and I can deal with like that level, like, I hate my job, like, but again, kind of like funny with it. But this woman is like legit, like, I hate this shit, I want to leave. I'm like, yeah, hell no. Number 4, now, this ain't really an issue as far as, because I wouldn't pick a single mom anyway. But let's say, for instance, I was open to dating single moms for this ick, right? Right. Seeing a woman treat her kids poorly gives me the ick. This one actually might even be like deal breaker, red flag territory, to be honest. But I'm gonna call it an ick for now. But yeah, wouldn't deal with a single mom anyway. But one thing that I see that really disturbs me is when I see like women in the grocery store or in public, like yelling at their kids, cursing at their kids. Like, I've seen women cuss out like 4-year-old kids like they were niggas on the street or some shit like that. So seeing that, I don't like that. Seeing like a woman yell at her kids. Now scolding and disciplining them is one thing, but to be like hyper aggressive and name calling, insulting your own children, that gives me the ick really bad. And I see that quite a bit when I'm in public. When you have these unfit, emotional ass single moms dragging their kids around, and then the kid is in the grocery store and he don't understand that you got to pay for that before you start eating it. So she got to cuss them out in the store, whooping them in the store, shit like that. Hell no, bro. So number 5, yelling, raising their voice. That's another one that gives me the ick. Now, if you're yelling for a taxi, okay. But now it doesn't even have to be like just arguing with somebody. Like, obviously you don't want a girl that was going to argue with you, but just seeing a woman yelling and like shouting matches and shit like that gives me the ick. I saw, I know you guys heard about that story where the rapper and his daughter got killed at the car wash by his ops. And apparently it was one of the guys that shot him and his daughter got his girl to come pick him up afterwards. And so a lot of people been like connecting her with the crime and holding it against her, basically. And so she made a video trying to plead her case and defend herself, and she was just yelling and like just the classic like blah, 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 like just masculine, upset, yelling, loud black woman type shit, like this. And I was like, yeah, that's one for the list right there. I don't like just women yelling. It's just, it takes them very far out of their feminine. I think it's similar to like a girl seeing a guy all emotional and shit. You know, I don't want to see a girl that's yelling, especially like what I saw with that woman. So number 6, smoking, but specifically smoking cigarettes. Personally, I think girls like smoking weed. I think that's kind of cute. Even though I don't smoke weed anymore, I stopped smoking weed. I think girls smoking weed is cute, to be honest. But smoking cigarettes, nah, that one definitely gives me the ick. I don't know, man. It's 2025. It's time for us to leave certain things behind. You know, it's certain things we just it needs. You know how it's like we don't have slavery no more. Like we got to a point where it's like this ain't cool. And I know slavery is way more serious, but the point is, it comes times in human history where we have to evolve past shit, you know, and we just can't do it no more. And when I see anybody smoking cigarettes, that's how I feel. Like, y'all still smoking cigarettes? For what? Now, I get it if you want to smoke weed. Hell, you smoke meth, smoke crack. At least you get like an intense, like, whoa, fucking high. Right? I can at least get it from the perspective of like, I'm really trying to turn up today. Like, whoa, man, I'm taking it back to the 80s. Like, okay, I got you. I don't fuck with it, but I can see the appeal of like getting really fucking high. But cigarettes, you spending upwards of what, $50 to $100 a week on packs of cigarettes for a buzz? It's time to leave that shit on the table, man. That shit gone, bro. What? So seeing girls smoke cigarettes gives me the ick, because it's just like it's the most pointless fucking vice. Depending on how much money you make, it's hitting your pockets. The smell, the teeth, cancer, all that shit, leave it. But at least now, I'll say this, because Nisha just said I smoke cigarettes, vaping is a scam. I'll say this about vaping. At least vaping, like a girl can look cute vaping, right? Just be like, right. But cigarettes, I can't just no go. I cannot do it. You can have a fat blunt of weed. You know, it's not the smoking in of itself. I just feel like smoking cigarettes is a vice that it's time for us it's time to let it go. We got to leave that one behind, bro. It ain't worth it. Roll a blunt. Roll some CBD. Okay, so number 7, bad or excessive makeup. So I'm not anti-makeup, but I've seen girls who just don't really know how to apply it. And I would even go as far as to say like stuff like the big eyelashes. I'll throw that in there too. Girls with the baby hairs and shit like that. That type of like excessive face grooming and makeup, not really for it. It makes them look trashy. It makes them look trampy. But there's a way to do those things right. So I'm not like against it completely. I'm saying I think some girls do it too much. They get the eyelashes, but they get them too long. They get the baby hairs, but then you still got the fucking like gorilla glue or gorilla snot, whatever the fuck it's called, like to stick them to your foreheads, and you see like little white crust on the baby hairs and shit because they applied too much to make them stick. You know, you got the makeup, but it's too much makeup. Girls put like the little black outline around their lips and shit like that. Too much. Just stop. Dial it back some. You know, I'm all for girls accessorizing, wearing makeup and all. That's cool. I get it. But I've definitely seen a trend of girls taking it too far. But I think a lot of it is girls not really knowing how to do it, right? It's like me with my hair. right? My hair is a mess because I do it myself, but I don't really know how to like properly twist braids and shit like that. I get away with it, right? Because I'm kind of a hippie type looking guy anyway. So I go for that wild look. But I think it's something very similar. I think some girls do it, but they don't really know how to. You need to get on TikTok and look up some tutorials. But to be fair, I do too. Number 8, fighting. Seeing a girl fight. Have you ever seen a girl fight? And sometimes they'll be like cute girls, bad bitches and shit, right? But when a girl is like, and I'm talking like a real, like, like a physical fight, like throwing hands, grabbing hair, that always gives me the ick. Girls look so masculine when they're fighting. It takes them so far out of their feminine that it gives me the ick. I don't like seeing girls fight, throw hands, none of that shit. You can have the most beautiful woman, but the second she starts fighting and dragging girls around like a caveman, UFCing bitches and stuff like that, it makes them look so bad to me, so tacky. Like they instantly just lose so much, like so many attractiveness points for me. Because it's such a masculine thing to do to get into a fist fight. So I hate seeing girls fight. I don't like that at all. I just be like, damn, what is this creature? Damn, where did the woman I love go? Number 9, hood energy, project energy, that sort of thing. And the thing about me, I was born in the projects, but I actually spent most of my life outside of the projects. My mom moved us to the country when I was like 5 or 6. And then we moved to here where we are now when I was like in 3rd grade. And the neighborhood that I pretty much spent most of my life in, like I always told you guys, it's like we have hood areas spread out all across the city. But I was lucky enough to come up in one of the like semi-decent neighborhoods where you actually got to pay bills to live, not a low income housing project or some shit like that. But we have those all around, right? So it's, I go down the street and then make a right, and then it's a housing project right there. I go further, take another right, it's a housing project to the left and to the right. So we like a mix. But I think because I grew up where I was, I didn't really adopt a lot of those like hoodish traits, And so girls like that, I tend not to vibe with them. And it's kind of interesting, like going back to that story I was telling you about that older woman at my job. She got hood energy. I can tell she from the hood. And it's funny because one of the guys that I work with, he's also like someone that was, I think primarily raised in the projects and shit, right? And when she first got there, like they didn't interact at all, but I knew that they were going to become friends. And after like a few weeks, like they just the best of buzz, gossip, hug each other and all that and yada, yada. Like I knew that they would get tight because they're cut from the same cloth. They both got that. And look, you from where you from. So I'm not saying this as like an attack on like the more hoodish Negroes. But I'm saying personally as someone that didn't like grow up deep in the hood, girls who have that energy, that definitely gives me the ick. I don't vibe with those types of girls. I think that it's really just about who you vibe with. I vibe more with like nerdy type girls that may have grown up, in neighborhoods like myself, so we're just not cut from the same cloth. I'm not better than them or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to imply, but it's just we're so different, right? Like you could be a guy who came from the hood but got your life together and now you're making good money. But you might be able to vibe with a girl from the hood because y'all got similar energies and shit like that, right? So I think it's more so like a personality thing. But that definitely gives me it. Girls got that little that hood attitude and shit. I don't like that. Number 10, and this is the worst one. The rest don't compare at all.